A minha vida cantar, nunca no mesmo lugar. Seja sozinho a dois, o resto eu vejo depois.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Wizards in Washington. Well, for Washington, they don't want to disappoint the hometown fans, but they'll have their hands full taking on one of the top teams in the league. We'll see if they can get it done. We'll be keeping an eye on John Wall tonight. He's really made that jump from good to great the last few years. Once looked at as a scoring point guard, he now makes his entire team better, Shaq.
You know, he's slowed down a lot, but he's still the fastest guy out there. He's learned how to play against how teams were defending his pick and roll, and now gets a lot of easy points off of it.
Yeah, I think his assist, Ernie, has jumped up like the last 3 years. You know, he's averaging 10 assists per game last season. That's double-digit assists. That's
Live from Washington, D.C., we bring you to the Verizon Center, the home of the Wizards. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. And, of course, J.J. Barea. This will be their second game without him.
Well, Kevin, no question it's a risky deal to make because you can sometimes sour your fans when you do that. I mean, trading one of the most popular players on the team is always high risk, no matter what you get in return.
Yeah, but it's a trade that I'm sure a lot of fans will second guess. Clearly a bold move, but as a GM, these are the things that are supposed to happen. You're going to bring scrutiny, and you just have to wait and see how this plays out. You have to focus on the big picture and what's going to be best for your organization moving forward.
All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Dallas, Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Williams is out there with Matthews. And it's Adams in at the 5 spot. Well, guys, how good a playmaker is John Wall? Second in assists last season at Chris Paul. Clark, he almost finished number 1.
Yeah, and the only difference really is that Paul was a little more efficient than Wall. Paul had a 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Wall was only at 2.5 to 1. But some of that is Paul's experience.
Here's Adams. No luck. Now Washington takes it the other way. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And then in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Parsons for 3. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And Wall kicks to Beal. Back to Wall. Out to Morris. Uncovered. Darren Williams grabs the miss.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And Chandler Parsons really set off a Texas rivalry last year, drafted by the Rockets in the second round. He received an offer sheet in free agency from the team's rival, the Dallas Mavericks. Eventually chose Dallas, injured in the playoffs, hurt a knee, only played the one game. But I think they've got great things ahead for him with the Mavs.
Yeah, Parsons was a restricted free agent, so that meant the Rockets could match if they wanted to, but they declined to match Dallas's offer, which sent Parsons packing just up the road in Texas.
Dallas moving the ball around. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
And now the fast break. Nowitzki with the ball. Matthews, no good. For Washington, they've gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter.
You know, back to the topic of Parsons' free agency, the offer from the Mavs was 3 years, $46 million. Houston didn't want to go that high, so they reluctantly let Parsons leave. Ultimately, Houston filled Parsons' small forward role with the signing of Trevor Ariza. Not bad.
Now here's Beal, following the miss by Wesley Matthews. And Williams gets it to go on the assist by Matthews. Matthews has got 3 assists in the game. The Wizards shooting it from their comfort zone so far in this one, 57% from the field.
And talking about the Texas showdown over Parsons last year, even his teammates got involved. After Parsons left, James Harden reacted saying that Dwight Howard and Harden were the cornerstones of the Rockets. But that's probably nothing compared to the rivalry that the two teams' ownerships felt.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Wall against Williams. Wall passes to Porter. Here's Beal. And another miss by Washington.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Parsons dishes to Nowitzki. Another 3 for Dallas.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
Now here's Wall. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. That's good.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Here is Williams. Last game we saw him score 14.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now.
Now, here's Porter. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And the pass to Parsons. Lets it go with a 3. Another 3 for Dallas.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Yeah, Greg, you know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there. And guys, one thing that was obvious to me, last year the Wizards really matured as a team. I mean, they played as if they expected to win instead of a group kind of coming into their own. I thought they just showed a lot more composure and maturity on the court.
Now here's Matthews after Gortat's miss.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Morris, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one.
And as they always seem to do, the Mavs feasted on the Eastern Conference last season. Dallas would end up with 50 wins on the year, and 21 of them coming against the East.
And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Nene, he's checked in for Gortat. Dudley comes in for Porter. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for Beal. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall. Dallas also making some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Lee comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. That's Felton in for Matthews. As you said, the Mavs just taking it to the Eastern Conference. It's been that way for a long time, it seems. They've really Clark got that number.
Well, under the Mavs' current ownership, they have never had a losing record against the Eastern Conference, Kevin. Leading up the East is why they've been in the playoffs so much in the last 15 years.
And the Wizards making a change here. Temple's checked in. Pachulia with the steal. And here comes Parsons leading the fast break. That's good. 10 points for Darren Williams. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Dallas.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, how about how well they defended the rim? Not just blocking shots, but also altering them here in this first half. Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Stolen by Dudley. Thornton with it. Goes up against Pachulia. Thornton no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Pachulia kicks to Lee. Passes to Felton. From deep three-point range. Washington with the rebound. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's Sessions. And Darren Williams pulls it down. Mavericks leading by 10. And Raymond Felton the bucket on the assist from Parsons. Felton has got his first basket.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Here's Thornton. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Thornton's got 5 points so far.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Mavericks lead by 10. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center. And John Wall, a multiple All-Star in this league. But make no mistake, his focus is squarely on team success. Wall's the kind of guy that has his eye on the prize all the time, and the less emphasis he places on his own goals, I think, Greg, the better he seems to get.
That's a great point. And Kevin, he is a man on a mission at this point in his career. Only one thing is going to satisfy him, and that's chasing that ring.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And, guys, what's your take so far on the Mavs?
You know, it's been a great display of team basketball here thus far.
5 guys, 5 fingers working as one. Just beautiful team basketball on display for these guys.
Garrett Temple is out there with Jared Dudley. Then there's Ramon Sessions. Then it's Thornton. Then it's Nene in at the 5 down low. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Wizards. Beal's checked in for Washington. Wall comes in for Marcus Thornton. Dallas also making some changes. Adams, he's checked in for Pachulia. And it's Powell in for David Lee.
Wes Matthews, a hard-nosed player on the wing. Strong frame, and he really does put it to good use at both ends.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. So for the Wizards, Markieff Morris comes in for Jared Dudley. And Porter subbed in for Sessions. Back to Williams. This one for 3. Beal pulls it in.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Wall, that's good.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Matthews, no good. Looking at Dallas, they took that win in their last game against Houston.
How about the athleticism on display defensively in that win?
Yeah, it was reflected in their shot block total, Greg. I mean, they were very disruptive, which I think is a combination of hustle and muscle.
Felton can't get it to go. Wizards trail by 3. Beal the pass to Morris. To the middle, here's Porter, and it's blocked by Adams. Fast break, Dallas. Matthews leading the charge. Felton inside the 3-point line. He drains the quick shot. Felton has got his second bucket.
Boy, what a nice-looking shot by Raymond Felton. My goodness, he's smooth.
Wall attacking, and it's blocked by Adams. It's stolen by Morris. Here's Porter, and good, coming off the assist by Wall.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Well, nobody really knew, Greg, what to make of Washington going into last year's playoffs. They came out strong with a big sweep against a pretty good Raptors team.
Yeah, how about taking them down 4 straight? And it was the first time a team has swept an opponent without home court advantage since 2011. Also was the first sweep for the Wizards in franchise history.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Morris, no good.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there. And in the second round, the Wizards continued to be a tough opponent. I mean, they went up 2-1 on the Hawks, but were unable to keep the series lead. A lot of close, heartbreaking losses for them in that series.
And he's been the catalyst all game long. Love how he's distributing the basketball.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, when the offense runs through him, it's really smooth.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
And the Hawks would ultimately take down the Wizards last year in the postseason. John Wall and his injury were a big turning point in that matchup, and all those buzzer beaters for both teams made it one of the most interesting series of the postseason.
Well, I think he kind of alligator-armed that one, short-stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
To the inside, here's Beal. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Great pass. John Wall is really good at finding the open man.
And here's Matthews from the arc. Rebound by the Wizards.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Morris kicks to Beal. And again, Washington with the triple.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shot's now starting to fall.
Here's Felton. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Felton has got his third basket of the night right there.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Mavs made the playoffs again last season. 14th playoff berth for them in the last 15 years, and only the San Antonio Spurs have made more, Greg, over that time frame.
Yeah, and they had a tough first-round opponent in the number 2 seed, Houston. A good old Texas tussle between the 2 and the 7 seeds.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Jared Dudley's checked in for Morris. Temple comes in for Otto Porter Jr. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for Beal. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall. Sessions dishes to Thornton. The shot's good. Sessions making him pay. Sessions has got 3 assists tonight.
Yeah, and you know, the Mavs got bounced out by the Rockets in 5 games in round 1. They were able to avoid the sweep, but losing the first 3 was way too much to overcome.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Wizards.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Goes up to the stripe. Gortat wide open. He fires. And they're unable to get the tying basket there.
And for Dallas in the playoffs, really, it didn't help to have the Rondo drama going on at the time. Even if that hadn't happened, though, you got the feeling that they were overmatched against a red-hot Houston team.
And Sessions kicks to Temple. There's a screen by Gortat. Shoots from 12. Another miss by Gortat.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation. And what a game for Parsons. He's got 11 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
Nene, he's checked in for Gortat. Both free throws good from Parsons.
And Zaza Pachulia, for my money, has been one of the toughest players in the league. He's got a boxer's mentality. Even his face looks a little bit like a boxer's. He doesn't have the quick twitch muscles of some guys, but his power and effort consistently stand out.
Dallas leading by 4. From 13. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence. Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
Ball's knocked loose, taken away by Felton.
A chance here to go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to ramp up the speed and make it happen in a hurry.
And Parsons gets it to go.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
And Sessions kicks to Nene. Knocked loose. Pachulia with the steal. They're running, moving it up. And finished off by Parsons.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Here's Sessions. Connects, the jumper drops. Sessions has got 5 points now this quarter. And we've reached halftime in this one. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 9. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm here with Coach Rick Carlisle. And, Coach, what impact is your defense having on slowing down their offense?
Well, we're active. They're missing a few shots they normally make. You know, we just got to compete. We got to keep competing the way we are.
Rick, thank you. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. The first half went really well for Chandler Parsons. He had 18 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. He put last game's performance behind him, doing some nice work in the opening period tonight. Shaq, what's your take on Dallas?
The speed they're playing with has been fantastic. They're pushing the ball in transition and catching the defense. That's snapping, Ernie. Anyway, a huge chunk of their offense has come on the break. They've got a nice lead, but they shouldn't slow anything down. I say keep doing what you do.
Kenny, what's your take on Washington so far?
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good looks. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand. Be like, okay, who's crossing this line? If you're coming over here, I'm taking a hard foul, and I'm going to resist you on defense.
All right, and that'll do it for us here. We now take you back to the second half of our game. Kevin Harlan ready with the call.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. It's been quite a game for Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, he was in attack mode from the word go. Came out very aggressively in that first half.
Take a look at his shot chart. It looks like the ink spilled right at the rim. No reason for him to settle for anything less.
Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Matthews out there with Darren Williams, and it's Adams in at the center filling out the middle.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Last season at both sides of the coin for the Wizards, started out very hot, but then just could not keep it going.
Well, you know, the start was extremely hot. 19-6, which tied a franchise best, that record. After that, though, they played close to 500 ball the rest of the time.
And the Wizards really struggled post All-Star break, playing under 500. Still, though, they seem to pull things together at the very end and on into the postseason.
And Matthews kicks to Williams. Wall grabs the board. Wall's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Tries to save it. Parsons with the rebound. Parsons got his 4th rebound in this one. Nowitzki with it. Now guarded by Gortat. That's good from Williams. The assist by Nowitzki. And that's now 17 points for Williams.
Well, there's no denying it. The Wizards had some bumps, and you mentioned that. Some weeks they look like a lottery team. Then the next, they look like a title contender. They knew how to make the most of their games when they did get hot, though. Tell you what, shooting 20% to start the second half doesn't bode well for how this will play out for this squad.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Otto Porter, hailing from a family of basketball players. His mom, All-State in '85. His 3 uncles won state titles. Deep basketball roots.
And how about the fact several of his cousins also won state championships, although Otto is the only one in the family to reach the NBA.
Wizards trail by 17.
Timeout is charged for Washington.
Washington calls timeout. And when you watch Wes Matthews, you see he's just a fantastic perimeter defender, Clark. He can match up well at either the 2 or the 3.
His combination, Kevin, of length and strength and lateral movement make him an outstanding defensive player.
Here is Wall. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Drops in the layup for 2. Wall's got 6.
And for Matthews, you know, he knows that he's a strong defender. And so last year, his claim was that he was the best 2-way shooting guard in the NBA.
Dallas calls timeout.
Listen, he has a chance to be considered the best 2-way player at his position, and not sure if he is the clear-cut winner of that debate, but he is in the conversation.
And Adams kicks to Matthews. Another 3 for Dallas.
The defense better start paying attention and taking care of business because he's been great from the arc this half.
From deep, Wall. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Adams has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
Here's Morris. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got assist number 8 here in this one already. Dallas leading by 18. And Adams kicks to Williams, and that one's good. Williams has got 19 points.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
And Wall kicks to Beal. Wants to get it to Morris and does. No luck. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Following this game, they hit the road. They'll take on the Knicks in New York. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. But they get it back. And there's the call on Marcin Gortat. That is his first foul of the game. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Foul, he's jacked in for Steven Adams. And it's Felton in for Wesley Matthews. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Nowitzki for 3. Offensive rebound. Over in the corner, Williams. From deep. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Williams. 9 points for Dirk Nowitzki.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Taken away by Williams. And now Felton running the floor all by himself. Finished off the break. Felton's got 10 points. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for the Mavericks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well. How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
The shot. That doesn't go either for Felton.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Here's Williams. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. 21 points for Darren Williams.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Mavs were solid on the road last year with a record of 23-18 away from Dallas Clark. Good for 5th most road wins in the West.
And, Kevin, that's what you'd expect from a veteran team like the Mavs. I mean, throughout the roster, this team has guys that understand what it takes to win on the road.
Nice job clearing some space out under the boards and setting himself up there for the putback.
And not just any old putback, Clark, but a big, big follow.
You know, Kevin, you can't be pretty, though, with those second chance opportunities. I mean, just put it in the basket.
And, guys, the Mavs did have a good record on the road last year. Most of it came at the expense of the Eastern Conference. Only 10 of their 23 road wins came against teams in the West.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He told Gortat that he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks again, Doris.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
You know, it's funny, back to the Mavs on the road last season, they were much better defensively on the road than they were at home, and that's typically not the case. It's usually flipped. Better at home on D than on the road.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. The shot's good. Sessions making the play.
He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
For 3. Rebounded by the Wizards. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And as good as a team as they were a year ago, they hated seeing these guys in their meetings. Just couldn't get it done against.
And even with all their talent, Greg, they finished 0-2 in the series. I mean, you know they're happy to be in different conferences now.
35 seconds left to play in the third. Pass to Thornton. Shoots the 3. It's hauled in by Felton.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall. Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Thornton up on top. He's covered by Felton. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. The Wizards shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. Free throw dropped for Thornton.
At the line for 2.
And Thornton drops 2. It's out of bounds. They are saying it was last touch by Lee.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Dudley the pass to Nene. Good D by Lee.
Oh, Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Mavericks on top, running away with this one. And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Washington's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. Sessions out there with Thornton. Then it's Garrett Temple. Then there's Hickson. And it's Dudley in at the 4-man position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Wizards.
And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
It has been a lopsided battle on the boards, no doubt.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
John Wall's checked in for Washington. And guys, over the last 2 seasons, Devin Harris has been a backup point guard, but one could argue that he's outperformed the guys that are directly ahead of him.
That's exactly right, Kevin. I mean, Harris came back to the team that he started his career with to be a support player, but injuries, trades, and generally poor fits elevated Harris's importance to the team. Excellent job to track down the long ball.
Here's Caspi, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
It's been kind of a gradual occurrence, but I think it's clear that analytics are here to stay in the NBA. Every team now has at least some vesting into the analytics area. Some base a lot of their decisions on the number side of the game. Others have a more balanced approach.
Wall dishes to Thornton. Harris against Wall. To the paint. Here's Dudley. Can't get it to go. And it's Dallas the other way. Analytics does have a strong place in the NBA, so it's been proven over the last decade. Some held out, but now, Greg, the results, the benefits of those numbers, it's hard to deny them.
A great point, Kevin. And with something new like that, there's always going to be a bit.
That jam! Beautiful.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Dallas moving the ball around. Back to Curry. Here's the 3. J.J. Hickson grabs the rebound. Wizards have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the 4th quarter. And Thornton kicks to Wall. Back to Thornton. 6 on the shot clock. Now the dish to Wall. Fires, high post, and Washington again with the bucket.
And really, Wall is a master at knocking shots down like that.
Curry attacking. Here's measuring. And that one is stuffed right through.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
They set the pick. Here's Temple. No good. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. Inside, tipped away. They push it up 4 on 3. And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Down low, Charity stripe shot. They get it again. Hickson. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. The Mavericks have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the 4th quarter on a roll. And the shot is good. Curry's got a couple of 3-pointers now in the 4th for the Mavs.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket. for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor. And, guys, there was a time where people wondered if John Wall could be a team leader. Well, that question has been answered and then some. Unquestioned leader of the Wizards.
The Wizards making a switch here. Anderson's checked in, and so John Wall nails both of them. Going for Wall, Greg, and leading the Wizards, it did take some time. Now he does so much, Clark, for the franchise.
On and off the floor. He's really the face of that franchise and has a chance, in my mind, to be an MVP candidate at some point in his career and is living up to the #1 draft pick hype.
Hickson, a screen on Harris. Inside, up off the screen.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball.
Dudley with a screen on Harris. It's Anderson with the drive, and that comes off the assist by John Wall. Wall's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Harris outside. The 3. Offensive rebound, Mavericks. He dishes it to Caspi. To the wing right side. Here's Curry with the 3. Rebounded by the Wizards. Wall passes to Hickson. The shot, no good.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Finished off the break.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Caspi dishes to Powell. And it's Harris off the drive. Here's Curry with the 3. Again, Curry missing. Washington's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly.
Excellent pass there to cap that break with an uncontested basket.
The Mavericks have gotten exactly 2/3 of their shots to find the bottom of the net here in the 4th. 8 of 12. The 19-foot shot, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Curry's got 13 points in just this quarter. Out to the wing. And Anderson kicks to Hickson. And Curry pulls it down.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
Drains the three-pointer. Curry's got 16 here in the second half.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Mavericks.
But, Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Parsons. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Here's Wall, and that is good. And Caspi kicks to Powell. Dishes it to Curry. There's the 3. Count it.
And really no better feeling than to go on the road and play this well and get the win.
Yeah, it's always a good win when you play the kind of game they have played tonight. I mean, especially, though, when you get it done on the road. That's a special, special feeling there.
So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And standing by for the postgame show, let's head over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Chandler Parsons. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor. And Kenny, you had some words earlier while the game was going on. What do you think?
They asked an awful lot from him tonight offensively, and he delivered. When they needed a big bucket, he was the guy they turned to, and he delivered, like I said. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. He did not shy away from the moment.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top of his game. And the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn, throwing hot dogs, spilling soda. He put on a CSDP, a crowd shut down performance. Man, that's what I'm talking about, Ernie.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.